Hi guys, it's Vanessa from To The Brim, and today I'm going to do a video on fragrance oils and starting a candle business. The first thing that you think of when you start a candle business or you think about starting a candle business is choosing wax, choosing wicks, choosing containers, and choosing your fragrances, because that's going to be the personality of your business essentially. I'm here to share my experience with trying and testing and choosing oils. And my backstory is that I started my pottery business about a year ago, and that's the primary focus of the things that I sell. About the middle of last year, I started realizing that I also wanted to make candles. I researched a lot, watched a lot of videos on do's and don'ts of starting a candle business, and realized there's a lot of research involved. You have to figure out what is selling in the market. You also want to make yourself stand apart. So that's one of the biggest things that I'm going to share with you, is that even if you're scrolling through Etsy, you don't have to follow suit. I think that the problem is that so many people started a candle business in the last year that the market is oversaturated with new small business owners that are selling candles. That's just a fact. You, as a new business owner, your job is to figure out a way to make yourself stand apart from everybody else. That's the main goal, because you want, in a line of, Big Macs, you want to be the Five Guys burger. Horrible example. As far as testing and choosing fragrance oils, it is not a quick process. I have tested over 100 fragrance oils, and I still haven't landed on 8 that I plan to sell. Like I said, though, I'm not in a big hurry. The main portion of my income and business is my pottery studio. So I have sold probably 10 candles, but at this point, I don't have my website up. I'm selling on Etsy and word of mouth, and probably 50-50, probably 50% of my sales come from word of mouth and people reaching out to me on Instagram or in person, and people finding me on Etsy. What I can say is that there are a couple of companies that have good reputations and their oils are of good quality. If you are starting out and you need to sample some fragrance oils, are the Flaming Candle, Aztec Candle Supply, and Candle Science. When you're launching a candle line, you want to have a good variety of candles, but you don't want to have a Yankee Candle kind of a variety of candles. Another thing that I've seen is people on Etsy that you click on their link and it isn't for a specific scent. It's for, let's say, a 4-ounce candle. And then you have to pick which type, and you click on it and there's like 30 different fragrance options. Chances are, as a small business, that person isn't able to put as much love and time into making each candle and really testing it and making sure that it's wonderful as somebody who maybe offers 8 or 10 fragrances, and they've put their heart and soul into testing and choosing those fragrances because they have meaning to them. And that leads to, how do you pick your fragrances? It's hit or miss. You're going to find that when you're looking at fragrance notes on a website and then you get the oil, sometimes you're like, what in the hell? Like, this doesn't... I'll get, 10 oils and I sit here, I do not look, I open the cap and I smell it because I want to know what it smells like for myself. I don't want to be swayed by what it's called. And this piggybacks onto the fact that you cannot go by the name of an oil to determine what you think it's going to smell like. Let's say you want to sell a vanilla kind of candle, a fruity kind of candle, a floral kind of candle, a manly kind of candle, an earthy kind of candle, an ocean kind of candle, and you have this like idea of a menu that you want to have for your candles. It's not as easy as just picking one oil from each category and getting it and thinking that that's going to work for you. And it really doesn't even work to read the reviews, because there are some people that love some of the fragrance oils that I've received, and I've smelled them and I'm like, this smells like ass. The other thing that I want to say is that I realize that as a business, your job is to see what is selling out there. But just because somebody else likes something doesn't mean that you like something. And I realize this isn't the best business practice, but I'm not going to sell a candle that I don't like. I just am not. Now, I know that I've had to step out of the box and learn how to like the masculine scents, because you really do need to offer a masculine scent. But I'm going to sell a masculine scent that I like. I'm not going to sell anything that is offensive to me. I've tried over 100 oils. I do blind reviews on here too if you want to check some of those out. But it's kind of I would say that that's one of the most expensive parts of starting a candle business. If you're really going to do your research and you're really going to test out multiple oils, it's a lot of work. A good quarter of the oils that I've tried are just trash. I do not even make a tester out of them because they're trash. There are some oils that you smell and you're like, I don't like this. And then you're like, but I don't not like it enough to not make a tester out of it. And then you make a tester and burning, you're like, holy shit, this is great. Then there are the oils that you know are going to be widely popular. And so, you know, maybe you like them a little bit, but you know that other people are going to like them a lot. Those were good ones to make a tester out of. And the other oils, and this is the biggest thing for me and how I'm, you know, I think just as a person who creates pottery, I'm somebody who at my core is more interested in building things that have meaning. And that's just me as a person. And I think that to me, when I smell something, if it has meaning to me and makes me feel something, I know that it's an oil that I want to make into a candle. Everybody can do whatever they want. I'm not judging, but I think that when you're starting out a candle business and maybe you're working part-time or full-time and it's your side hustle, or you're a single parent, or you are a stay-at-home mom, and maybe you don't have limitless funds. One thing that is frustrating is when you go to YouTube and you are searching for people who have started a candle business because you want to know, you know, what's really going on? How does it really work? And I have found videos of people, and their first video is beautiful white shelves filled with jars that are clearly very expensive. And I think that that gives people the wrong idea of the reality of starting a business. And I think that it can be frustrating because then you're sitting at your kitchen table with some canning jars or some things that you got at the dollar store, and you're testing out candles for the first time and you're still figuring it out. And then you're like, God, I'm really frustrated. You know, this one is tunneling and this one doesn't have any scent throw and I don't know what I did wrong. And you watch a video to try to get some moral support in a way. And then all you end up doing is comparing yourself to this person who probably had thousands and thousands of dollars to buy IKEA shelves and jars and wax and 50 million different kinds of, you know, huge jugs of oil. And that's not the reality for most people. So I'm trying to break it down, make it as honest as possible. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. And choosing oils is huge because that's what's going to set you aside. That's going to make you unique from other people. The bottom line is that you want to have oils that are from several categories so that let's say you're at a farmer's market and somebody walks by, there's usually going to be a person, and people will like more than one category as well, but there are people who like ocean scented candles. There's people that like floral scented candles. There's people that like fruity scented candles. There's people that like gourmand fragrances. There's people that like that masculine scent. And so your goal in starting your business is to try to find a fragrance kind of from each of those categories. You can go to any company that sells candles, and a lot of them will break things down like that. Woody, earthy, fruity, baking, drinks, like things like that. When I was starting my business, I found that oil to me that smelled like fresh cut wood. It made me think of a brand new guitar. And so I brainstormed, what could I call a candle that smells like fresh cut wood? And I came up with Acoustic Trio. Music is a huge part of my life. And for me, making this wood scented candle that was called Acoustic Trio meant something to me. If you can make a connection between your region and a scent, that's great, because there are people, no matter where you're from, like I'm from Vermont, but I go to Maine to go to vacation. So if I were on Etsy and I found somebody who made candles that smelled like Maine, I'm immediately going to be drawn to look at that. People who live in any state, but they come to visit your state. And so if you can find a fragrance that means something to you, that has something to do with your region, definitely do that as one of your scents. How many scents do you want to have? I would say no more than 10, and it's okay to have 3. It's okay to have 3. Have a masculine scent, a fruity scent, a floral scent, whatever. I mean, you can make whatever combination. When you're starting out, there is no rule that you have to have a full scent line. When I started out, I think I had 3 or 4 scents and people bought them. Don't get overwhelmed by seeing people on YouTube or on Instagram or on Pinterest that are starting candle businesses, and they have 10 beautiful glass jars with beautiful labels and beautiful lids and beautiful packaging and all this. And they're saying, oh, I sold out on my candle launch. That's great. Okay. That's not usually how it goes. You want your scent line to be personal and something that you have created because it has meaning for you, and not cheapen it by just making a line of candles that has absolutely no meaning to you. I hope this was helpful. My next video is going to be about how to use Instagram to help promote your new business. And I also have 15 fragrance oils coming from the Flaming Candle. And as soon as they get here, they're a little backed up with shipping. So as soon as those get here, I'm going to do another one of my blind first impressions. Hopefully some of those will be good. You never know. I'll tell you if they're not. So if you like this, give it a like. If you want to see more content like this and you want more information on starting a candle business and the real tea, then think about subscribing, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.